Malaysia's Citizenship Amendment promised justice for mothers and marginalized groups, but with every solution comes new challenges. Is this law a beacon of hope or a work in progress? Today, we unpack the pros, the cons, and the impact of this historic change. Why does this topic matter? It also affects the stateless group as well as the offspring of some Malaysian. Before we begin, my name is Nur Fariza Khalida binti Mohammed. On October 17, 2024, the Dewan Rakyat passed the Constitution Amendment Bill 2024 to alter the grants of citizenship. In order for it to become a law, it must be approved by the Dewan Negara, obtain royal assent, and be gazetted. The bill obtained the supermajority support required to modify the federal constitution and implement the modifications to the nation's so-called citizenship rules. What are the citizenship amendment? It is actually has changed in its wording. First, Bahasa Melayu proficiency. One proposed modification will put the need for proper Bahasa Melayu understanding on a foreign woman married to a Malaysian as part of her application for citizenship, which the Home Ministry say it is consistent with the Federal Constitution. Written exams and in-person interviews would be the part of the competency examination according to Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail. Second, gender equality. In the past, automatic citizenship was exclusively given to a Malaysian man who had foreign-born children with foreign spouses. By operation of law, children born overseas who have a Malaysian mother or father will now be entitled to citizenship. This is in the section 1B part 2 of the second schedule. Third, lowering age ceiling for application. The time frame for citizenship applications will be shortened by 3 years from the current age limit of 21 to 18. The modification is supposedly meant to align with the Child Act of 2001, definition of a minor, and the lowered voting age. This changed in Article 15A. Fourth, no more automatic citizenship for permanent residence kids. In contrast to their former legal entitlement of Malaysian citizenship, children of PR now inherit their parents' nationality. This is in Section 1A, Part 2 of the second schedule. And lastly, foreign married women. In the case where a foreign spouse marriage ends within 2 years after their country's independence, their citizenship will be eliminated. Previously, this was 2 years after the date of marriage. This changed in Article 26, Clause 2. Why is Malaysia discussing this? Malaysia struggles behind the 150 nations worldwide that have changed their laws to grant women the equal right to allow citizenship to their children, regardless of whether the children were born overseas or whether their partners are foreign nationals, even though Malaysia is one of the fastest growing nations in Southeast Asia. For Malaysian women, obtaining citizenship rights for their foreign-born children is crucial, particularly if the mothers live in Malaysia and their non-Malaysia born children lack free basic access to healthcare, education, and other rights enjoyed by the Malaysian citizens. Let's start with the benefits of the amendment. First, gender equality. This amended the mothers to have the same right as the fathers to confer citizenship for their children who were born overseas. As the saying by the United Nations experts, women and men must be treated equally under international commitments, particularly when it comes to the fundamental right to citizenship. An important step ahead has been taken with the law's change to guarantee Malaysian women the same opportunity to grant their children born abroad immediate residence. This encourages equitable treatment under the law and is consistent with international human rights principles. Second, reduction of statelessness. The purpose of the modifications is to reduce the possibility that children of Malaysian women who marry foreign men may become stateless. The modification facilitates these children's integration into society by guaranteeing their citizenship, which gives them access to jobs, healthcare, and education, fostering a more inclusive society where everyone can contribute to economic progress depends on this integration. The revisions can lessen social exclusion and encourage a more equitable distribution of opportunities and resources within the nation by addressing this group, but critics argue the amendment has unfinished business. First, exclusion of certain groups. Kids born to Malaysian permanent residents may not be able to get citizenship as a result of the removal of phrases like permanently residents, which would increase the probability of being excluded. The orang asli and orang asal, which is the original people of Malaysia, as well as the generation born to stateless persons holding PR, may find their precarious situation worsened by this change, which it could trap them in a generational circle of statelessness. According to the Malaysian Bar, it is impossible to overestimate the negative impact on stateless people's life on a political, economic and social level. Among other basic rights, they would be excluded from formal education, healthcare, official employment, and access to the legal system. All of these disadvantages make them subject to abuse and mistreatment, which leads to them being victims of social evils. Second, the impact on family unity. Amendment pertaining to foreign wife may cause instability, especially if citizenship may be withdrawn under specific circumstances, jeopardizing the stability of the family. This change also affects the children born to foreign fathers and Malaysian mothers unintentionally if they don't have a retroactive effect, since parents may have to make tough choices about where to reside or how to protect their children's rights. This could leave many kids unsure of their citizenship status, which can trigger family harmony and cohesiveness. These spouses experience instability and insecurity as a result of the circumstances, which may cause family division and have an impact on the welfare of the children involved. Take Sabah as an example. More than 1/3 of its population are stateless and undocumented. Why? Because the new law doesn't cover foundlings, undocumented families, or long-term stateless communities. For them, citizenship is still a dream. Let's take a look at a story of Wong Kwang Hui. He is 30 years old Sabah-born stateless man, faced difficulties in obtaining a driving license, opening bank account, and pursuing his studies because he did not have proper documentation.
Masa pendaftaran tu surat beranak saya kena update. Saya pun tidak tahu sebab apa kena update. Mungkin surat lahir saya tu sudah terlalu lama ataupun new system. Masa kena update tu suddenly di situ dinyatakan saya bukan warga negara. Tapi masa tu saya terlalu mudah untuk tahu semua benda ni lah. Jadi saya pun macam yang mungkin dia belum ada warga negara sebab sekarang tengah memohon IC. Kalau sudah dapat IC baru yang saya ini warga negara, jadi permohonan diteruskan. Tapi selepas berapa tahun tu dia permohonan tu macam tiada respon.
He was born to a Malaysian father and Indonesian mother, but both of them died when he was a teenager. He filed a lawsuit upon receiving confirmation by the Indonesian embassy that they had no records of him or his mother. After 16 years of fighting for his right to be acknowledged as a Malaysian citizen, he finally received his identity card in July 2023 at Putrajaya, a few months after this video went viral on the internet. By hearing this story, critics argue the law restored justice, urban mothers win, while rural Sabahans stay invisible. Without retroactive fixes and Sabah-specific policies, this amendment repeats history, solving one inequality while creating another. In summary, although Malaysia's citizenship reforms seek to address some concerns, which is seeking for gender equality, they also pose serious risks and difficulties, such as impact on family unity, that may have an impact on a number of populations, especially marginalized ones. In the continuing discussion over these changes, striking a balance between upholding rights and ensuring fairness continues to be a crucial issue.